See, here's the deal, man. If you have a problem with me, all you have to do is come talk to me. Negatively, positively, let's be men and talk it out. But what I won't accept is talking shit behind a screen. No. The price you pay for talking behind a screen, I take your fucking head.
All right, I'm back here with another New Scott interview, and today I have somebody that's been requested to do an interview with me for a year or more at this point. We're here with Markus Burke. How are you doing today, Markus Burke?
I'm good, man. Life is good.
It's been about 3 years since we've done one of these, and a lot has changed.
A lot has changed.
In 2016, you took over as booker and promoter of UCW. Tell us how you've grown the product from drawing 35 people to one show drawing almost 1,300 people.
Great question. Quality, failing, learning from my mistakes, a lot of things. I'm still learning every day, of course, like any other job. It's pretty intense. When I got the gig, our first build-up was the forum show, as you remember as well, and I knew we were going to have a big show, but 1,300 people was not expected. And truthfully, anybody that asks, I was not ready for it. As you get, the product was, as in the wrestling, was okay. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. The standards that I have now are way higher than back then, but it was still overall a good show. But production-wise, I think the only camera that I had running was you, and what the hell was I thinking? The lights were horrible, and you have great footage like always. But at the end of the day, I should have had 3-4 cameras on there, and I should have rented some good lights. And the boys did really well with the rants and such. I mean, they worked really hard, of course, like they always do. But at the end of the day, I just wasn't ready for it. But man, what a trip that was. So to answer your question, it's just quality. I try my best to put on the best shows and feel what I think is what people want to see. And it's been working out pretty well.
At that point in time, or maybe just before that, you were still working for IHW. Mm-hmm. You made the decision to leave IHW and just focus on UCW. What made you make that decision?
So you, as a historian yourself, you know that the two previous. Well, I have to go way back, and I try not to be long-winded because we only have about 20 minutes with this before the Sackville show starts. I've been out with IHW for a long time, and I've always, since day one, had an interest in booking stories and booking storylines and promoting, how to promote and such. And so the 2 years prior, you remember this as well, I had the first cage match with Peter, Peter Smith, and that build-up, with the help of Peter, of course, was my idea, like how we're going to build it, and the cage match and everything. And that, at the end of the day, for that match, that was the biggest show they've ever had. If you want to go prior to that, my match with Ryan Storm, which is, you probably remember the year better than I do. Yeah. But that was maybe my third year in the business. It was me and Ryan Storm, but I pretty much built that story with Ryan Storm, and at that time, that was the biggest house they've ever drew. So I just always had an interest in building storylines. So I did that back to back with IHW for the 2 years, and I laid it all out there that I wanted to book. This is my future was not necessarily in the ring. I want to be in the business forever, and I'm not going to be a 50-year-old wrestling. I'm just not. I'm 36, going on 37. If I make it to 40, then maybe. But my future's backstage. So I made it clear that that's what I wanted. And I mean, it's at the end of the day, even if I was an OG IHW guy, it's their business. It wasn't my business. So they decided that that's not really what they want to go with. So I just took the ball with Chuck was cool enough to give me the ball a couple years before that, and I wanted to grow that product. The imaginary lines of territories was never something that I was big on. So I wanted to grow a product which was maritime based and go to the Halifax, the Monktons, the PEIs, and such everywhere without borders. So that's what I wanted. As you know, not everyone was on board with that, but I really tried to slide in, like not undetected, but not try to not ruffle too many feathers. But yeah, when I first I wasn't I booked people that people weren't really booking. Like the Dynamites and the Covies and the Cody Little Blay and Sabotage. Those guys were used here and there, but not really. So those are the guys I use. I'm like, okay, we'll build a product with them, and if other guys, the guys that have been around for a while, want to have a show, want to get booked, I'll book them once in a while. There's no problem at all. But that's unfortunately not how it turned out. But we're doing very well. So I'm not sure what your original question was, but that's where I am now.
If IHW would have let you book, would you have done what you're doing now, but just would have been doing it with them, or do you think you still would have left? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I would have. I would have had demands for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I would have stayed because I love all those guys, and even I think for a minute we weren't on good terms, but I've talked to most of them. There's a few that are still, but they'll never be. Anyway, but yeah. So with demands, sure. I would have needed a part of the company and full booking with some restrictions, of course. But I work better when I'm just given a blank sheet of paper and say, okay,
right,
let's go. So. Yeah. So to answer your question, I don't know. So I would have stayed under the right conditions and terms.
Maybe you would have tried and said how it
Yes,
worked
exactly.
out.
Yeah, I would have definitely tried. But unfortunately, it's just not how it worked out.
Right. I've done a bunch of these interviews earlier this year or earlier last year.
I remember I didn't want to do it because there was too much.
Yeah, and I asked you to do one then, but you wouldn't. But in a lot of these interviews, people had some not nice things to say about you.
Right.
Do you have any response, not necessarily directly to each individual, but you have, to some people, a negative context, right? Some people think Markus Burke, oh, he's the devil or whatever, right? You don't necessarily talk a lot about it, at least not publicly. Do you want to?
Like you said, I'm not going to go by individuals, but if you actually believe everything that is said about me, I am the worst human being in the world. I harbor pedophiles. I call the police on certain promoters and get their bank accounts frozen. I don't know if you could do. I didn't know you could do that just by calling the police, but I guess I can because I got that amount of power. Dude, the amount of stuff that I've heard about me is insanity.
Does it bother you? Personally, does it bother you?
It bothers the people that I'm with more than me. It doesn't bother me. I'm a human being, and my feelings get hurt. But at the end of the day, I'm not no offense to Jason Mosier from Wrestle Center. He was trying something. I wasn't 100% on board what he was trying to. But when people who attacked him, he crumbled. He's like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
I can't deal with it.
Right.
And I kind of thrive under that shit.
I was just gonna say, does it motivate you?
Yeah. So keep bringing it. No offense, but there was a show yesterday from another company, and if you want to compare crowds and such, it's that's all I care about. You can pretend, you can contact fans directly and he done this to me. Look at my doctored screenshot, and you know what I mean. It's just funny to me. It's sad to my guys. It angers them very much. To my wife, you guys have made her cry. To my good friend, and that's helped me very much, Steve, the promoter of NSPW, that's helped me in every corner. You made him cry. He knows who I am. These people are my closest confidants, and they know who I am. They know what kind of person I am. So they know, the people around me know what type of person I am. These guys, no offense to, I'm not even gonna name their names, but they don't know me. They know the promoter me, the booker me, and that's it. And I don't use them anymore. So they get angry. And they can say, oh, I left because of this. People that aren't with me right now is not because they wanted to leave. It's because they weren't clicking with everybody, or they were too much drama or too much anything. And that's just how it is. There's a select few. There's one person really that I would like to have on our crew that we don't have. There's one that from the local scene. And that's not like shitting on everybody else. It's just the reality of.
Can I ask if that's Titus?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And I want to say, like, there's a lot of guys that are amazing people that don't have on roster. It's
Right.
it's just a different type of product that we bring to the table.
Right. Why did you switch? You don't. When people watch Maritime Wrestling, they are accustomed to a Maritime Wrestling type show, and by that I mean the old Grand Prix style.
Yeah.
It's kind of slow, big baby face, big heel, blah blah blah. You've changed that with what you do, and people seem to be responding to that. Do you think that it's the time, or do you think it's just that something different that they've never seen here before?
What do you think?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think there's a place for both, but I think in this day and age, people are expecting to see more of your spot type wrestling show. Do you know what I mean?
I think we do a good job.
And I don't mean spot as in it's bad. There's a lot more high flying moves. There's a lot more go than grab a headlock, right?
Yeah,
And not that there's anything wrong with grabbing the headlock if it works.
I know. I think our guys do a good job of being like in the middle.
Yeah.
Like they're not ignoring the fans that are paying. They're not like, okay, what's next? And
Yeah.
so I mean, some guys are, but for the most part, you look like a Little Blade. Little Blade's always been like, oh, he's just a spot guy. You should
Yeah.
watch him wrestle.
Yeah.
He does a lot of spots, but he's always interacting with you. Dynamite, always interacting with you. So am I. So is, like, you look at a Troy. I mean, Troy is the epitome of the old school Maritimer.
Yeah.
But he tweaked the style just a little bit,
Yeah.
and now he's, So we bring in guys like Channing Decker, which he was supposed to be a one-off, but we loved him so much. He fit with our crew very well. So we made an investment in him, and he's paid off.
Yeah.
Like people thought I was crazy because the second show I put him and Kevin Blanchard in the main event, and people were like, nobody knows who they are.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? By the end of the show, everybody was on their feet just clapping for him. So that made both of those guys at our show. So another long-winded kind of answer is, I don't know the answer to your original question. I think it's, like you said, both. I like to have a lot of charismatic guys, a lot of athletic guys that you're like, okay, if I get in a fight with him, I might get fucked up here. You just look at this on the top of my head. You got the Sabotage guys. They're all over 6 feet, 6'2" and 6'3". Channing Decker looks like $1 million.
He does.
So you got me that could kick your head off. You got Troy. You got Little Blade. That's a little. I don't know if you know, but he's a high school wrestler. He's from the hood.
I've rolled with him.
Yeah,
He's legit.
Yeah. So Dinah looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
You got even the young guys are coming up. Our smallest guy is like Jeff. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you met Jeff, but he's 6'1", 6'2", and like 195. You got Tyrion and Casey looks like $1 million. So you can just look at, like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, who are the young guys that are coming up that are doing it the right way?
Yeah.
It's our guys, because there's no bullshit with us. Like, you're putting the hard work in. It's not like about talking trash on the internet. And I've done that before. I've been there. I've learned, but I'm teaching my guys to be different. It's about putting the hard work in. Like teaching them how to make money in this business. Because a lot of people are telling them, you can't make money in the Maritimes. You can't make money. Hey, man. I beg to differ. I've made a lot of money in the Maritimes, and my lads are making a lot of money as well. So, and I know I'm forgetting a lot of guys, like Markus Estrada, bringing him in, man. Those guys, like the untouchable guys, Benjamin Tull, and Benjamin Tull, he's a bigger guy, but he's a bigger guy. So I think I have a flavor for kind of everything. And then Riddick Stone. I don't know if Riddick Stone looks like $1 million. He hasn't looked that good in forever.
Yeah.
He has a six-pack, for God's sake.
Yeah, he's like 245 with a six-pack.
Exactly. So, and he's adapted his style too. I don't know if you've seen the matches with him and Channing Decker and him and Travis Toxic. And it's like, so although...
He worked Toxic?
He worked Toxic.
Oh, man.
Like a four-way
okay.
But it was really good.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show that everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's just the hard work Kool-Aid. It's not the, you come with me, kid, and I'll get you. No, I promise those guys nothing. You put the hard work in, opportunities will come. Little Blaze in Ontario right now. I wish he was with us now, you know what I mean? But
dude, I know the promoter very well of the promotion, Ben.
Yeah.
He started out here in like 2002.
Yeah.
But he's been sending me messages non-stop over the last couple of days of how amazing and how he wants to keep Cody. Like, he's like, I don't know what the legal situation is. He's like, but I'm keeping him. Like, that's how amazing.
I'll fight Ben.
Yeah. I was like, it's not happening. He's coming. He's coming home.
Yeah.
But that's how amazing he's doing. And the thing he said the most he's impressed with is that he listened. Yeah. He showed him some stuff, and he listened, and he adapted and used it in the match that night.
Exactly, always.
Yeah.
That's why, like, our guys that are here, they all listen.
Yeah.
There's no, like, guys that, oh, I'm 19, but I know everything about the business, and you can't, you tell me something? Yeah, and then I go do something else. There's nothing like that here. That's not what we want. We want guys that listen, people that listen, and it's not all guys, I just said guys, but Jazz is in there, she's 17.
Yeah.
She's rough around the edges, but shit, man, all she wants to do is learn, and she fails, she gets back up, she gets mad at herself, she cries, but she gets back on it, let's go, let's do it again. That's the type of fucking mentality that I want. That's what I want. And people are snickering when I say, oh, we'll grow the maritime scene. Oh, we're going now. I'm going to go national. I'm going national. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to be the first one to go Canadian national. And not like, and Fight Network is wonderful, and hopefully we'll make it to that step. But I want like national. And that's, I know people, like, I used to say it a year and a half ago, and the old school guys used to snicker in the corner. Keep snickering, bro. Keep snickering. It's all good. I know what I want, so.
Do you wish you would have started, this is a question I've wanted to ask you for a long time.
Cool.
Do you wish you would have started doing what you started doing in 2016? Like, do you wish you would have started doing that sooner? Because you've tried to get tryouts with WWE and
Failed.
TNA and things in the past. But do you think if you would have started doing what you're doing now 10 years ago, you would be there now? Do you regret not doing what you're doing now? Because you even stopped wrestling for a little while.
Definitely not, no.
No?
100% not.
That you don't think you'd be there, or know that you don't wish you would have started it?
I don't wish I would have started that.
Okay.
I dabbled. I've been learning about in and out of the business for since I've been in. And looking at the promoters, I'm like, oh my God, this guy has no idea what he's doing. And guys are like, oh my God, this is the type of promoter that I want to be. And so I've been learning along the way. And I think if I would have done this, let's say 6 years ago, when I first started back wrestling, or 7 years ago, I would have failed. Because people would have put the pressure on me like they're doing now, and I wouldn't have been ready. I would have failed completely.
Okay.
So this was absolutely the perfect time. Like the perfect time for me. And so that's, I guess that'll answer your question. I've been learning and failing for 16 years. I used to be as you know, if you want to go back to old News God interviews, my God, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, I was just a ridiculous kid. And
they all were. We know, nobody knew what they were doing.
But and I understand. And
just trying.
They were just trying, and I didn't really have. It's unfortunate because I'm trying to give these kids what really we didn't have. Me and Troy talk about it all the time, about what we didn't have growing up. And that's not shooting on anybody. It's just we were more like we weren't really told. We were just told to do it something one way, and that's the way to do it. Or if you don't do it, get the hell out. And there's no one way. Everyone's different. Every person in that building is different. But if we're all like Casey's the ultimate warrior. You can't if you expect him to chain with you, but he's the most charismatic motherfucker. You point the camera at him, and he's gonna cut the best promo out of everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like okay. So everyone's different, and that's what we kind of work with. And you could be the most athletic guy, but then then we gotta teach you psychology. So to go back to now, I'm happy that I started when I started. I'm happy I started with Chuck. Chuck can be very hard to work with as well, but he's very lenient on certain things. He let me fail. So a lot of people that are trashing me were trashing Chuck before, and but he knows that I work hard for him, and it's gone well for the most part.
Now, there's a question that if I don't ask, everyone's going to be like, what the hell? Why didn't you ask? So
It's only 50 seconds.
I know. Talk fast. You got you and Covey.
Yep.
That situation got extremely heated there for a while. He worked for you. He was your champion for almost a year or more than a year. Long time. He was the
my middle.
Yeah, your maritime champion, not the heavyweight champion, but like your IC title.
He's getting groomed to start being the guy.
Yeah. So, he left.
Yep.
We've heard his side of the story of why you let him go, or why he left. Sorry, not necessarily you let him go. I'm putting words in your mouth there. About why he left. What's the situation? Why is there so much heat between you two? That's the first part of that question.
I don't want to I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't have to go into super.
I don't want to go into super detail
Yeah.
because I feel like business is private,
Yeah.
and he can say that, I know he said that, I'm an independent wrestler, I can work anywhere, and that's absolutely true. And I have screenshots that I can show, like him, yes, like a part of a conversation this big that he shows all the fans, and
Yeah.
look, he told me I could work anywhere, but if you scroll up, then you see different conversations about everything.
Right.
So, so I don't want to go in that, that's just petty stuff. Like I said, the end of the day, when I decided to let Covey go, I was very kind of confused with everything that was happening, and again, I don't want to go too much into detail, but I'm very confused on why he was doing the things he was doing, and I expressed that to him, and they expressed that I didn't know if I'm not sure what I was going to do, and then instead of just like having a conversation like grown-ups, I had fans messaging me and saying like, why do you let Covey go? Why'd you fire Covey? And this was like the same day.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Without like no announcement, no nothing. I wasn't even sure what I was gonna do. But yet I had like, let's say a half dozen fans send me messages. So that's where I decided to kind of cut ties. Because if I have a disagreement with you, and you're already kind of going out and telling people and causing drama just like that, that's not the person I want around in our crew. So, and since then it's been just hell. But it's his decisions. He's burning his bridges, and he can do whatever he wants. It's his career, it's his life.
Why did you decide to book yourself in a match with him?
Well, truthfully, because some of the fans wanted to see it, and for me, was I angry? Yes. And it's funny, like I wasn't overly. That's just how I work. I'm not overly snug, but I'm snug as in like, they connect on everything. You can ask anybody. Like there's a difference between Sackville, Nova Scotia, me, or Halifax and Riverview, me on big shows, or Quebec. When we're on
the intensity level gets picked up.
Just picked up. If you can't, you gotta. It's not a shoot. It's just how it is. And so the intent, like he was talking a lot of trash on the internet and stuff. And I was like, okay. So I booked him. The second I'm like, do you want to get booked for this show in Riverview? Oh, yes. And then it was like, don't call it. He was on Facebook. Don't call it a comeback. I'm back. I'm like, okay. Then he's like, who am I working? And then I just posted the poster of me against him. And then it was like, oh. Then his legs started hurting. Oh man, now I'm sick. I got to cancel a couple shows. And I'm like, okay. Then I called him out on that. And then just to make sure that he showed up. Because either way for me, I wanted to put it out there. Because he's been putting it out there forever. Yep. So it was my turn to put it out there. So I put it out there for me on everything. I'm like, is he gonna show up? And then I said his anxiety was gonna make him not show up, and then he ran with that, and I was laughing at his mental health. I was like, no. I have anxiety. I'm sure New Scott has anxiety as well.
Yeah.
I've dealt with that my entire life. I come from a very particular kind of childhood, but his anxiety was caused from his own words. It's not like. I'm laughing at him because he can't leave the house because of something. That's all the things that he said was going to cause him not to show up. That's what I said. So I put it out there. And for me, it was like, if he doesn't show up, whatever. It's a win for me because at the end of the day, that's what happened. But he showed up. Good. And we had a match. It was fun. It was intense. It was good. But then after, I was like, okay, let's see how he reacts to this. And then he told the kids like, oh yeah, he was stiff, but then I gave him a good one, and he calmed down. I'm like, you know what I mean? And that all comes back to me. And I already went way too much in the detail with it. I'm over it. And truthfully, nobody, like, my plan was to wrestle Kobe, and then we had Troy come in and do his thing. Like, I'm kind of breaking the fourth wall here, or whatever the fuck. And then...
That's all I do.
So, you know, Kobe was gone, Troy comes in, we take off the bat.
Yep.
So, but that was that's just how it is. So nobody's been asking for, oh, when's Kobe coming back? Truthfully, it's not that he's not a good wrestler. He is a very talented wrestler. He just has his own demons, and he has to deal with that. I just, unfortunately, at this moment, don't want to do business with him. That's pretty simple.
What's your, you just said you wanted to go national. This can lead into like the last question here.
Sure.
What's your long-term main goal you hope to accomplish with Ultimate Championship Wrestling? Do you ever plan to like do your own thing, or are you going to always keep it under, well, I mean, I guess you're kind of doing your own thing now, but do you plan to like ever, I'll edit that. Do you ever plan to do your own thing? I'll leave it, fine. I'll leave my stutter. Do you ever plan to do your own thing outside of Ultimate Championship Wrestling, or will you always do it? You said earlier you wanted to go national. Will that be under like the UCW banner, or will it be under something you start yourself? Or do, like I just said, do you always see yourself doing it with UCW?
That's a question I don't think I can answer.
Okay.
I think I've done a lot for UCW. And
Absolutely.
The last thing I want to do is kill UCW. I would never want to do that, or kill Chuck. That's the last thing I want to do. I don't know, like 3 letters to me, or it doesn't mean, you know, it's all about who works, the quality that you put out,
right,
and all that stuff. So who works for that? So to answer your question, maybe, but the for sure 100%, the thing I don't want to do is like screw over Chuck Martin or UCW. That's 100%. Whatever happens, they'll be involved in some way or somehow, or whatever the heck. However he wants to do it. I know he likes to run Chuck shows. He likes to run his stuff the way he runs his shows. So, so good for him. He's been running for I don't know how many years. You know more than me. I'm part of the company.
UCW, his UCW started in 2008. It actually started in 2002, but that's a longer story.
Oh, man, I'd love to hear that. So I don't know.
I tell you, but you're on a time limit here.
Yes. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have any attachments to a name, or if let's say TSN or Sportsnet said, "Hey, man, we want to pick you up right now, but we don't want those 3 letters. We want this." So like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sure. I'm not gonna say no. How dare you?
Right. Did you want to mention anything else or talk about anything else that I haven't asked?
No. And like I said, I hate doing interviews, as you probably tell. I haven't.
It took me 3 years to get you to do this one.
Yeah, and you're the only one. Truth be, I've been asked to do podcasts. The last one I did was Chael Sonnen. I'm like, how can I top Chael Sonnen podcast?
Me, baby.
Yeah. So
Bad Guy Inc.
Yeah, Bad Guy Inc.
Yeah.
So that's the only. I've had an amazing, weird career, man. You know, from all the crap that happened to all the beautiful things that happened, from all my travels, it's been insane. And I just, I say this a lot, but I just thank the fans. So thank the people that have been just kind of following me and just, you know, buying a shirt, buying 8x10, or just supporting me, however, buying a ticket, whatever. It's been super appreciated, man. It's been a crazy ride, and we're just starting. Like my transition is gonna go away a little bit from ring to backstage more and more. Like,
you think you'll miss the wrestling though?
Probably, but
because you're not wrestling tonight.
I'm not wrestling tonight.
But so you're agenting the show or running the show or whatever, and you enjoy that. But do you miss being in the ring? Do you think you'll miss being in the ring? Because you could always do what Triple H does and like work
come in and out
once a year.
Yeah,
WrestleMania, baby.
I mean, maybe right now I would say no.
No, you wouldn't miss wrestling?
No.
No?
Maybe. Fuck it. I say no, but
that's a
lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Like truthfully, to finish off, like I don't post a lot of stuff, but I've been injured. This year has been a bad year for that stuff. So I'm not saying next year might be perfect, but this year has been tough. So if you ask me now, no. But you know, we just gotta power through, man.
Yep.
I'm a big part of the show right now, and I have to be. But man, so many good kids are coming up, so many good people. We got a guy from Mexico, and by the way, breaking news, the guy from Mexico is here for 6 months.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that guy, I've just watched him work out in the ring. I'm tired from watching.
Yeah.
That dude's legit. You guys are going to be stoked when you see him wrestle.
Yes. So that's what I mean, like, and it's not, I'm just super excited for that stuff because he
6
contacted
months.
6 months. He contacted us. Like it's not like I went out and contacted him. He contacted. I get messages every day about people coming in,
Yeah.
and a lot of good guys. I'm like, no, we're kind of full. You know, it's hard to bring people in. We're the Maritimes. It's really, really, really hard to get people here because it's far from everything.
And it's more expensive. I don't know if people realize that, but it's more expensive to come here.
Exactly. So for him to be like, I like your product. I see it all the time. I want to be based out of here for 6 months. I'm like, holy crap! I wish he was here for the whole summer. Unfortunately, because we're in the kind of dead period, I explained that to him.
Yeah.
But he wants to be here anyway. So I'm excited that people want to do that. And you know, if we like right now, I would put us with like the Smash or Destiny of Ontario or NSPW in Quebec. I feel like Ultimate Championship Wrestling is like that for the Maritimes.
Yeah.
That excites me. That is very exciting.
And there's no doubt, or there's no question that you guys run the most shows either.
No,
Yeah.
I think this is like in our 30s right here.
Yeah.
So this year, so. You know, and as a promoter, I know, fucking, you're just happy now because I'm just ranting. With some shows, like I'll make that show. This is delving right in the promoting, which we could talk about. That's a different topic. I'll make thousands on one show, and then the next show I'll make hundreds, and then the next show, smaller show, I'll lose hundreds, and then I'll make another 1,000, and then I'll make another 1,000, but then I'll lose 500.
Yeah.
But that's okay because without that, like those legit kids wouldn't get better. Casey McKay wouldn't get better. Tyrion wouldn't get better. Kimba, all those guys will just stay stagnant and be the same forever. You know, so it's important for me to make sure the kids are prepared for a big scene. Like if I have a bigger show and they're on the show, that they're ready for it. I'm not throwing them out there to the wolves like, okay, well you've had 10 matches, go out there and wrestle in front of 500 people. Good luck. So, you know, if people understand the VIP aspect of things, well, I mean that's up to them. But so it just
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing.
There you go. I love learning about promoting. I understand the wrestling part of it. So now understanding the promoting aspect of things is getting super exciting. Yeah. So that's it.
Where can everybody find you and follow you guys on the internet?
Don't worry about me, man. Just follow UCW Wrestling. I think it's UCW Professional Wrestling. You made it up for me, so.
I don't remember what it is, but I'll put the link in the description.
Link in right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Can you get it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's right there. It's getting bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller.
So just follow UCW on Instagram and Facebook. We don't have Twitter right now. We had it, but stop it. We'll leave it on there.
Do you have anything in closing? You want to say any friends, family, or fans that might be watching this?
No. Just you guys know, man.
Fuck 'em.
I didn't say
No.
when did this come out? This week?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go see the shows this weekend.
Yeah.
The 30th in Spryfield, that's going to be a big one. First time for Chang Danker, Benjamin Tull, some of the Untouchables, and then the 31st in Riverview. When me and the concussion dealer go at it, brother.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
He got your wife.
Yeah, he did. But I'll get him back this month.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for doing this with me. It's been a long time. A lot of times me asking, and we've actually tried to do it a few times, but we've run out. Things get crazy during shows.
Yeah.
Today's the perfect time.
Perfect time.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.